Self-awareness is not that easy, but there was a fantastic man called Alfred Ellis who created REBT, Rational Emotive Behavioral Therapy, which is the precursor to cognitive behavioral therapy. And he had a fantastic acronym, as you know, I love those, the ABCs. And he said everything is basically like this. You have an activating event, A, and you have B, and then C, a consequence. And we think often that the activating event leads to the consequence. Whereas we don't remember sometimes that there's a B in the middle. What is B? B is your beliefs. It's your brain having all these beliefs that are not necessarily true. In fact, if you take the word belief, in the middle of the word belief is L-I-E, lie. Every belief has a kernel of lie within the middle of it. Because if you think about, let's say a belief, let's say an activating event that someone drops litter in the street, and you think, that's terrible, like that man's a bad man, you know, anger, all that stuff. Well, that's because in your mind you have a belief that littering is terrible and people that do that are scum and whatever it is that comes up, right? All of that has a kernel of a lie. Why did that person do that? What was going on there? When we start to cultivate curiosity and compassion, and then we start to cultivate like taking responsibility, now we start to see we don't have to hate that person. We can still have a reaction. We can acknowledge and name that reaction, but now we don't have to act from these beliefs. We don't have to have all the anger that we experience. We don't have to react that way. We can actually act in ways that create the very things that we want to create, which is people taking more responsibility. We might have a conversation with that person, but instead of from rage, it comes from love and compassion. And so then we're aware of the ABCs. We're aware that there always is our beliefs at the core of our reaction. Then we have a hope of actually changing our reaction.